So this is a topic I'm not really passionate about. I don't really care about or give two fucks about. But because I'm constantly just seeing influencers on social media, share their thoughts. So it's not exactly influencers, it's activists. Activists just saying what they believe and them having an opinion. I feel like, why can't the rest of us normal people also have an opinion, say our 2 cents, what we think about this whole situation? So I've been just seeing these interviews of Elliot Page or other people talking about Ellen Page, whatever. And she's a trans woman, trans man, I'm not really sure how this thing works. But she's a woman who became a man, transitioned into becoming a man. And it made me think about quite a bit of all these other trans activists that I've been seeing over the past couple of years. It started mainly in COVID time where they really got a voice and they really started talking and protesting and, speaking out to the world. And I just started seeing a very common trend amongst all of them is that none of them are really either being masculine or feminine. They just being this stereotypical hyper-masculine or hyper-feminine ideal or idea. And it makes me think, like, is that just what life is now, that people are starting to LARP as other people? Because think about it, they are LARPing, and you can see it because you can see a trans man, a woman who transitioned into being a man, putting on the show of masculinity, talking about what they think masculinity is and trying to align their lives to this thing. But you can see that it's an act, it's a force. They're LARPing as a man because it's not coming natural to them. And their femininity is showing through in their behaviors, in their body language, in the way they speak, in the way they're carrying themselves. And for some reason, all the trans men who went on to test, they're talking about how testosterone makes them feel great, makes them feel amazing, makes them feel great to be in their body or whatever. But that's just the effects of anyone taking a steroid. Anyone taking testosterone as a steroid or is whatever they call gender replacement therapy or whatever. That's the effect testosterone is going to have on you. That's the same effect as why guys who don't chum, guys who don't work out, do find themselves getting a bit more depressed or feeling a bit more negative about themselves, because it's just the effect that testosterone and leveling your testosterone levels has on a person. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at with this whole thing is it's a show, it's a facade. It's like they're playing a character, because for any other guy that's hearing the shit, they're like, fuck, this is not masculinity. This is what this person is being told what masculinity is. It's not something they figure out for themselves. It's not something that's innate. It's something that they are forcing. And you can see they're forcing it because you see their femininity shine through in whatever they're doing, however they're going about doing things. Even the way they're being a man is a very feminine way about being a man, because now you want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to show off your masculinity in a sense. They, for some reason, they also always make it a central topic, their identity, Like, real men don't go around telling people how manly they are, because oftentimes when we do see that, like, the fucking Andrew Tates or whoever has to continuously articulate their masculinity, constantly talk about it, you come to notice that it stems from a level of low inferior masculinity. That's why they feel the need to constantly talk about their masculinity and how manly they are. It's just a bit strange. And likewise for the reverse, men who transition into females, you can see the masculinity in their femininity. You can hear, they don't carry themselves in a very feminine state. It's just a weird way of being, because you can feel that this person is going against like their natural mannerisms, behaviors. Like, I'm not saying that I have any major issues with trans people. I'm just saying I have issues with trans activism. People that want to get out there and you want to speak and you want to tell people how to be. Want to define masculinity when you were born female. You want to define femininity when you were born a male. And you can see that it's a facade. To everyone we can see it's a facade. Everyone can see, can notice you are LARPing. I'm not saying that you don't have to be part of society. I'm not saying that you have to discriminate against you. I'm just saying that maybe shut the fuck up and get off the online sphere about talking about what you think masculinity is. I think just go about being a normal person, because there is other names in the social space, in the social sphere, other trans creators who don't make their gender and their sexuality the core focus of their being, of their content. They go about talking about normal topics like politics or fucking makeup or talking about, fitness or lifestyle or backpacking or whatever the fuck, but they don't stem their sexuality into whatever they're doing. I mean, I was just thinking about Amosis' wife, Layla Amosis. She's trans, but she talks about business, she talks about lifestyle, she talks about, moving the ball forward, being a productive member of society. She doesn't focus on her struggles of being a transgender person. She doesn't focus on her idea of femininity and masculinity and all of this type of shit. She's dressing the way she wants, she's being the way she wants to, and she's letting her masculinity shine through in the fucking way she deals with business and the masculine mindset needed for the type of business she's in and being a multimillionaire. But she's presenting as femininity, and I don't think anyone has an issue with her as a creator or her as a sense of being. But we have an issue when people come through and they want to tell other people how to love, how to be, what they think masculinity is, what they think femininity is. And then when a person is so actively letting their femininity shine through and they forcing the world to just see them as masculine, that's also a bit strange. I feel like you can't force something. It's you just gotta be how you're being. And I feel like also if you don't be a pretentious asshole about things and you don't force shit and make things uncomfortable for everyone else, they just accept and they just accept you as you are and how you want to be spoken to. Because I feel like influencers like Layla, she doesn't get that pushback that a lot of trans activists get, because I feel like for the most of it, people like to rage bait. And when you see someone getting all hyped up about call me by this pronoun, and when it has never been an issue with the people you're around, when they haven't been misgendering you and you constantly make gender a topic, people are going to want to rage bait you and fucking call you a woman when you're trying to present as a man. But if you just go about doing your shit, adding value to society in ways that are not trans activism, that's just going about business, work, social aspects, whatever, just being a normal functional human being in society and not being a pain in everyone's ass, no one is really going to misgender you and be on your case. They're just going to let you be. So I think that's the funny thing is, with all these people thinking that everyone needs to be an activist and everyone needs to stand for a cause, no one gets taken seriously. We all just take you like, what the fuck, bro? Just shut the fuck up. We have more important things to deal about than calling you by fucking different pronouns and confusing the fuck out of us. Because also, like with this thing is, there's people that stick to normal conventional pronouns like he and she. It's the ones that come about they and them and ze and ze and thus and they. When you start making things strange and way beyond the norm, you're not going to find yourself happy, because fucking people are not going to go be strange just to make you happy. I mean, yeah, like if you're going to present as a woman and you're going to look like a woman, we're going to call you a she, because if first impressions we think you a she, anybody's going to go out of their way to make you feel uncomfortable. But now, if she is not enough for you and you want to be a they, them, a fucking they, them, then you're going to fucking complicate language and structure for the rest of us, and no one's going to give you what you want. But I also feel like it's about people just wanting and choosing to get upset and emotional over shit. When most of the trans activists you find are people that haven't really faced discrimination or active issues that most other people have faced, they just choosing to want to get upset because getting upset is like the new norm in 2026. Everyone wants to get upset, have a cause to stand up, uplift people just for the sake. It's just coming down to, what's the word for this then? I forgot the psychological term for it, but yeah, I don't know. Probably a lot of people won't agree with me on this topic, probably some people will, but if you do or you don't, just drop a comment. Let's have a discussion about this then. Honestly feel like, I think people should stay in their lane, eh? I feel like if you are going to be a trans person, define shit as a trans person. Don't try and attach to masculinity or femininity to things that already exist in things that are already ingrained in the way people be. And it's okay to present as masculine and feminine at times, Let some feminine energy shine through and some masculine energy shine through in different circumstances, in different instances. But when you try in LARP, it's just one or the other. Yeah, there's going to be some contradictions happening and people are going to point that out. Whereas if you just don't make shit deeper and you just be like, I am who I am and this is how I'm dressing, fucking no one's going to bet two shits about it and I'm going to leave you to go about doing your own thing. But now when you think that you are entitled to now educate people on shit and you want to change the way people speak and the way people talk and the way people think about things, then it's gonna really fuck up. Like even this, I'm not trying to educate anyone, I'm just sharing my opinion. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.